Welcome. Please share first with us where you're calling from, where
Okay,
you're
everyone.
located.
Hi, yes, I'm Bakshi Sidhu. I'm from the UK and based in London, in a vibrant city full of so many different kinds of people. And so glad to be here as well.
Can you just please share with me? Uh, I live in a big city, but not like London. Is it complicated to be a parent living in such a big city? What are the benefits and what are a little bit the difficult
Wow.
parts of
That's
it?
such a lovely question to start with. Right. So London, it's got so much diversity, so many different cultures, and just even my street alone, we're surrounded by families from all kinds of walks of life. And it's so nice to be part of that community. And it brings so much enrichment to our children's lives and to our own lives. And it shapes how we parent. We see lots of things that are going on. And it does, yeah, it has a great influence on how we show up and how we parent. Yeah, it does.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Bakshi, I know you're a conscious parenting coach. You have a degree in psychology and you have a master's in anthropology of children and child development, I believe. So please share with us how psychology and anthropology connect to each other because I find it so fascinating, but I'm sure some of the people cannot see the connection. So please share
Yes.
with us.
No, definitely. So I did my psychology degree many years back, and I honed it in to relate to children and child development because that's the area that I really wanted to focus on. And I just knew early on in my education that I really wanted to focus on children and child development. And then after that, I took on a master's of the anthropology of children and child development, which was so interesting. And it was all about learning about the different cultures, the different countries, and how children are raised in different cultures, different communities, different tribes around the world. And it was so amazing to learn this. It was just mind blowing to learn how children in India, perhaps, or children in Africa, or children in a Western community, an Eastern community, how they were raised and brought up by their families and their parents. And it was it was the beginning stepping stone for my work with working with different children from different backgrounds. It served me well, especially in my teaching career that went on to next.
Yes. I believe it's very important to know our roots and where
Yes.
we come from in order to live and be happy and be in
Yes.
abundance today. I always ask all our speakers, how did your awakening start? What happened in your life?
Wow. Okay. So I had 2 points in my life that
Mhm.
I would call sort of my awakenings or where the shifts really happened. And the first one happened, I would say, when I was in my sort of late teens. And I was just looking around at my life and my family, my extended family, my friends, and just looking around and just feeling a sense of, is this it? Is there more to life? What is the purpose of everything? Am I just following a prescription? Am I just following like milestones that have been set out by culture, by my parents, by society? And there was just something in me that just felt like there should be more. There could be more. And it was from that point onwards, when I was a teenager, young adult, that I started exploring personal development. And I picked up personal development books, watching what I could get hold of. It was CDs in those times, but picking up CDs and listening to those to try to find, is there more to life? Is there more that we could give, contribute, serve? And then that led me on to a lot of personal growth. And on my journey of life, I managed to achieve lots of different things, and I'm so proud of it. And I managed to do lots of things, but there was another shift that happened much later. And in
Mhm.
fact, it was only a few years ago, actually. And it was it was during COVID, and I had got children at that time, so I was a mom myself. And the shift happened where no matter what I was achieving on the outside world, growing a business, or, looking like, things were together. Internally, I felt very disconnected. And
Mhm.
that's when I had this, it's just like the penny dropped, and I had this just moment of real clarity that no matter what I do outside, I really need to do the work inside. And that's, I would say, kind of like my real awakening of where I felt like that's where I needed to go. And that's from that point onwards, my journey changed into, rather than only focusing on the external and achievements and growth, I went inwards and focused on healing my inner child, healing, the things that were deep buried inside, and just working on that. So I was sort of rediscovering myself. And that was the point, a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I think you're mentioning two very important things. First, our awakening, our it's a journey, and it has
Yes.
not only one point, it has several points, and no matter how much work we do, we are constantly working, and
So
it could be that there will be awakening even later, even after we did a lot of work. So I
yes,
believe
yeah,
this is very
yeah.
important for all the people to understand. And because I also started very early in my life with my awakening, I really want you, if you could share why is it important for young people not to wait, but to start their healing? What do you feel about
And
it?
that's a brilliant question. And I totally agree. I think where we can start earlier, and we can provide that narrative even to our children to get them to be more aware, is so important. There is, we can wait until we're older, until we have some kind of catastrophe in our lives, some kind of real trauma, or something that
Mm,
just makes us want to have that awakening. But actually, we can kind of, or in a sense, force it upon ourselves and think, actually, can I go inwards? Can I start that inner transformation? And we can start earlier, getting in touch with our feelings, getting in touch with our inner calling, just, really going deep. And I do this with my children as well. I've got two boys, and I do ask them, what are you feeling inside? What is beneath that feeling? Okay, you're acting like this, but what actually are you feeling, and what's going on? And getting them to understand that there is a layer deeper, and it is part of that awakening process to actually touch our soul and to be more in tune with what's going on. And we
yeah,
definitely should start
I,
earlier. We should definitely start earlier, just to be mindful, like reading books and, watching various YouTube, taking part in summits like this, having that access to this information is crucial.
yes, absolutely. It's actually something we need to read about. We need to educate
Mm,
ourselves, and it's not something that we learn necessarily at home because it's something that we can grow into.
yes, yes.
And when you're saying you have two boys, two children, they're old already, like pre-teenagers. And I want to ask you, I know you connect with them, but can you share? I read something like this, you buy yourself a ticket too,
Yes,
and I loved it.
yes.
Can you explain a little
Yeah,
bit, like
I would
not
love
sitting
to.
on this side?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just thinking, so my boys, I've got two boys, one's 13 and one's 10. And I remember them being very young, and you're hands on, you're in there, you're in the soft play with them, and you're doing things with them, which is great. And then as the children, I noticed, got older, a lot of us mums, dads, we would just sit on the sidelines, have our coffee, and just watch our children from a distance. And they would be enjoying themselves, and we're like, oh, thank God we've got some time to ourselves. And even though that was nice, I still felt like I didn't have a full connection with my children. I didn't really feel like I was really entering their world. And one of the things that I wanted to do, and I've tried really hard to embody this, is actually participate in their world, see the world through their lens. And the only way that I felt like I can do this is actually taking part. So when when we're going to Go Ape or a trampoline park or somewhere, crazy golf, I will buy myself a ticket. And it was a long time that I didn't buy myself a ticket because I just felt like, oh, they're fine, they'll play. And by doing that,
Mhm.
they're seeing such a different side of mum. They're seeing mum being playful, mum having a go, mum being competitive. So they're getting to know me in a different level, and I'm really entering their world. at a different level, even them now being a 13-year-old, and we're playing head to head, and they're absolutely loving it, and I'm absolutely loving it to have that connection with them at this age.
Yeah, I totally love this. This is
Yeah,
like really true connection, not
yeah.
pretending, but really being present there.
Yeah. And sometimes it
Yeah.
hurts, and sometimes it feels painful, and sometimes it's a bit embarrassing, but it's like, okay, I'm gonna just give it a go. I'm gonna, give it a try. Yeah.
Yeah, and this actually leads to your topic for the summit. It's like presence, not
Yeah.
perfection. It's what truly shapes the next generation. I truly
Mm.
love it. Could you could you please share with the people who are watching why is it important to watch you on the summit? What are you going to bring for the summit?
Okay, so I've had, like many of us, lots of lived experiences, different highs, different lows, and I've embodied, the psychology, I've embodied personal growth, and I've really embodied the conscious parenting approach. And what I would love to do is share that with the audience and share the things that I've learned on my own journey. So I would be really grateful if people wanted to just switch in and join in. I've got lots to offer, lots to share, and lots of real life tips and strategies that have worked for me. And going from a disconnected mum, disconnected to myself, to a more connected parent. And I've just got lots to offer.
Oh, I have one more question for
Okay.
you. Yeah, please, because I really love to be practical in those lives. Can you share like maybe two examples other than the boys and being there for them? How do you connect to yourself like during
Okay.
the day when you have an ordinary day?
Yeah.
How do you reconnect?
Right. So if just an ordinary regular day, one thing I really try to do is be very present in the moment. Okay, and now
Mhm.
that can sound quite like, what does that mean, be present in the moment? And how I see it for myself is that we go through the day having so many different emotions, whether it's feeling overwhelmed, nervous, anxious, but even excited, so many different emotions. And what I like to do is go inwards. What is this saying to me? Is this coming from fear, or is this coming from lack? Do I need to support myself in a different way? And so I try to have like a daily practice of going inwards and really self-reflecting. I start my day with some meditation, and that's something that I've had to schedule in to make it work. But that daily practice of going inwards is really what helps me.
So like to schedule it to make it
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
very important event in your life
yeah,
because
yes.
otherwise meditation is not working, right?
No, I had to schedule it in. It's how my brain works. If it's not scheduled, it may not happen. I know how busy mums can be and life can be. So it's
Mm.
something that I do first thing in the morning, and it really helps me reflect on how I'm showing up, but also what's going on in the inner landscape of my
I
life.
love it. We need to schedule ourselves
Mm,
into the schedule. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
important. Yeah. Is there something that I didn't ask you and you want to share with us?
Ooh. You've asked me some very good questions. I don't know, but I'm looking forward to sharing lots at the summit. Yeah, I'm definitely going to share lots at the summit.
Thank you. Thank you, Bakshi. It's been amazing to be with you. Can't wait to
Thank
see you
you.
on the summit.
Thank you
Thank you,
so much.
everyone watching.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.